don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls' softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second because look.
Dude, the woke media are absolutely losing their minds. I mean, they're melting down. They're now going after one another on these shows, on CNN, on MSNBC. They're going after each other now. And I'm going to get into that here in this video. I first want to get into this Patrick Bet-David clip right here, or this Patrick Bet-David tweet. This is why CNN and mainstream media is getting destroyed. Delusional, arrogant, pompous, and America is sick of this nonsense. We have this clip here where CNN hosts turn on each other and just lose their mind. You can tell Donald Trump is just living rent-free. Donald Trump is causing these people, their brains to absolutely rot. Let's get into this clip here where the CNN hosts turn on each other. And shout out to Patrick Bet-David for this tweet. It's 100% true. This is why CNN and mainstream media, woke media, is getting destroyed. Because they're delusional, arrogant, and pompous, and absolutely just dumb, just idiots. You know, like imagine you lose an election this badly, and the first thing you do is double and triple and quadruple down on the things that lost you the election without even a second thought. Anyway, let's get into this clip here from CNN of these people just losing their minds on each other.
I think there are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls' softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second because, look.
They're losing it. It's crumbling, dude. The empire is just coming to a crumble at this point. They can't even agree. Like, they can't even have a discussion at a table with one another anymore. It's glorious to watch. I have no other words to describe it. It's absolutely glorious. The guy says, I don't think people want girls to compete or boys to compete in girls' sports. They're not boys. They're trans women. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. It's like, oh man. It must be so exhausting to be a leftist, man. You can't say shit. You can't say anything. You can't acknowledge any reality without somebody having a meltdown, without some little loser white knighting for a group of people.
This is a really heated issue, right? And Michael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, like, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
Okay, so let me rephrase this since I'm being targeted here.
I don't. You're not. Just to be clear, you are not being targeted.
I am, but it's okay.
I'm specifically saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not intending. He wants to sit here and bloviate.
I'm saying you're using a phrase that you know.
So the way regular people interpret it,
that's not regular people. That's not regular people. There's no consensus that these are actually boys. This whole thing about trans girls is a canard. We're talking about a tiny, tiny sliver of the population.
That may be the case, but my point in terms of its effectiveness,
This is why you lost the election, by the way. This is why that ad from Donald Trump crushed. I think that's actually the point that the black guy was trying to make here. The ad from Donald Trump that did so well, I think it was like one of the best performing ads in the history of TV, television ads for a presidency, is the ad where Donald Trump was like, Kamala Harris is for they, them, Donald Trump is for you, us, or whatever the ad was. I know for a fact that said Kamala Harris is for they, them. That's why it performed so well, because of people like that guy who you can't even say boys. You can't say the word boys. Oh, actually, they're not boys. Okay, man, like, you're lost. I can't have a conversation with you. This is the offended Olympics, and I'm not going to win. I lost. Congratulations. You won, man. You have the gold medal. You're the most offended at the table. Congratulations. I admire people who can sit here, like Scott Jennings on the video that I did yesterday. I admire the guy. I can't sit here at this table. There's no way. I say words that they cannot handle, which are just normal human dictionary words. Like, I can't say boys. Boys is an offensive term now. This is why you lost, and I hope it continues. I hope this guy, this black guy on the right, who was trying to make a good point why that political ad did so well, I hope they keep silencing people like that. Because I mean, if I'm this guy, there's no way I'm sticking around on the left. If they won't even listen to me, I can't even criticize you without you melting down and taking part in the offended Olympics. I'm leaving. Not only that, But even if he doesn't leave, they're going to continue to lose.
To your point.
My point in terms of its effectiveness, regular people with children look at these things and they say, you know what, this is a bit too far. I do not agree with this. I don't like this. I think Democrats are going way too much to the left on social issues. They're uncomfortable with it. A lot of people believe that. A lot of families believe that. You may disagree with that reality, but that's why Republicans kept running those ads over and over and over again, because they saw the metrics suggested that they were
lying
working.
in those ads over and over again and using rhetoric like you just used, saying this is boys playing girls sports. First of all, we're talking about 5 people in the entire country. We're talking about trans girls being allowed to play with the people who are in their gender. And if you don't believe, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association.
The American Medical Association.
Yeah, let's listen to the American Medical Association. The same people that lied to us about so many different things in the past and are currently lying to us right now. Hopefully RFK goes after those people, because I mean, they're criminals. Let's listen to those people. It's just ridiculous, dude. It's crazy that you can't say, I mean, has this guy not seen the MMA clips or the boxing clips of people who are born male who transition and go play women's boxing, go do women's boxing or women's MMA? They get demolished by these people who are born male and go compete in female sports. They get demolished. Like, it is bad. And also they get demolished in all the other sports too. Like Leah Thomas, the whole Leah Thomas situation. But those are not combat sports, so it's not as, it doesn't have the same emotional effect. But to say that you can watch that and not tell the vast difference between the two, between people who belong there and people who don't. Come on, dude. I understand we're playing the offended Olympics here, but at some point, like, you got to be able to at least, I mean, you look like you're getting up there in age a little bit. He's got some gray hair. You're going to go your entire life without acknowledging reality? It blows my mind that people are willing to do that. You also have this other clip here from the same conversation that might be even more unhinged than the one that we just saw. Let's check this out.
The word chutzpah comes to mind for a couple of different reasons. I mean, the first is that, if a hurricane hits the small town, sitting after the fact and arguing that we should have built the house out of brick or stone or wood doesn't really matter. For a lot of different reasons, this was going to be an election that incumbents were going to have a very, very hard time holding on to in this country. And to then say, well, if we'd had a primary and, a knife fight between some unknown group of Democrats, one would have emerged who would have been a stronger candidate than Kamala Harris and somehow run a better campaign than what we just saw in that 107-day sprint where she raised $1 billion and ran an almost flawless campaign. It just wasn't enough to
Many people would disagree with that, but
well, it was
going 0 for 7 in the swing states means it's not very flawless.
Other than
going 0 for 7 and losing the popular vote, there are a few things in the way of flawless.
I don't think that speaks to the campaign. Like we were
discussing
before.
what the American people
If you enjoy content like this, to make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
In every developed nation, the incumbent party at the end of the pandemic has lost. They have lost bad. The Democrats here lost less badly than the ruling parties. Conservative, liberal, does not matter. Across the world, the convulsions caused by COVID, by inflation, by supply chain problems, people are angry, right? Often they are choosing nationalist candidates like Trump or like Meloni or like the National Front in France, which just barely lost, right? But often they're just picking someone who's going to get stuff done, right? I thought the best Trump slogan was the Trump will fix it slogan. People feel that society is broken. I don't think any Democrat could have possibly won this election.
Who's this person, Nancy Pelosi?
Right, who's the dream candidate?
Well, that's just the bigger point. I just want to play this because to your point, Errol, on the Pelosi of it all. I mean, this is Pelosi at two different junctures in her evolution on this question of whether President Biden should serve out a second term.
Oh, by the way, I was going to glance over the fact that they just said Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign. Like, I understand a lot of people are saying Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign beyond the results, though. Like, you got to look beyond the results. As a Saints fan, it's a pretty triggering term to hear that, because if you're a Saints fan, we've been calling for Dennis Allen to be fired for quite a long time. And the general manager of the Saints, Mickey Loomis, kept saying he's a good head coach. You just got to look beyond the results. And we're all looking at each other like, what the hell else is there but beyond the results? We're here to watch our team win. Same thing goes for Kamala Harris and the Democrats. They're saying Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign beyond the results. guys, all the Democrats care about, all the left care about is winning. Like I talk about all the time. All they care about is being on the winning team. And don't get it twisted. The right wing, the Republicans want to win too. And if you're not winning, you didn't do a good job. And you damn sure didn't run a flawless campaign if you're not winning. That means you actually ran a not good campaign if you lost. The purpose of the campaign is to win. It can't by definition be flawless if you lost, especially if you got blown out as you did.
Hope he runs. I'm for him if he runs. And I know that the Democrats will fully embrace him. If he runs, it's over. It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. But he's beloved. He is respected, and people want him to make that decision, not me.
I mean, you know, the former speaker is twisting herself into a pretzel. When Joe Biden dropped out, they said, oh, he's a statesman, he's beloved, he's doing this for the country, he's the greatest man in the world. And now that they've gotten their butts whooped, now they're blaming it on the guy who they were just saying several months ago
Didn't she say he
was the
should be on
greatest
Mount
guy in the
Rushmore of
world.
presidents?
She did say
Yeah.
that. But they're looking for someone and anyone to blame. And to your point, I think that's a valid point. This election was always going to be tough because of the economy. You look at all the net negatives for the Biden-Harris administration. I'm not certain there was this magical candidate out there who suddenly could have defeated Donald Trump. I just don't believe that.
I totally agree.
I
And
agree.
imagine a different postmortem from Nancy Pelosi where she says, you know what? We obviously totally disagree with 8,000 things that Donald Trump stands for, but we should have done a better job of hearing the pain of the American people. We should have taken it more seriously. We should have not stigmatized, you know, the dumb Trump voters and all those MAGA people. We should have taken this more seriously, and we could do a better job moving forward because we, the Democrats, have solutions that might actually work.
Brother, you are the problem. You are the problem. And in the clip that we just showed, you are the problem. This is crazy. You were the one that just lost your mind at your co-host for saying the word boy, for saying that boys compete in girls' sports because he didn't use the correct language. That is the problem. Also calling the people, the minorities who didn't vote for Donald Trump, racist and misogynistic and sexist and all this stuff. That's probably also a problem too. But you know, that guy is, you're the problem. You know, you're not just part of the problem. People like you are the entire problem. And like I said, I hope it continues. I hope they continue down this path because they're going to continue to lose, which is great for me. Great content too. I love seeing the meltdowns. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the PBD tweet calling out these woke CNN idiots, Patrick Bet David absolutely destroying them. And what do you think about the media meltdowns that are happening, man, right now? Like I said, absolutely glorious for me to watch, and I hope it continues because that means they're just going to continue to lose in future elections. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole PBD versus the woke media versus CNN and everything happening in woke media right now. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation.